folks, and thanks for joining me. So it's a bit of a quick video today, just an update on the 8-track progress really. So you may remember that I got myself one of these Dynamite 8-track players from Panasonic, and I wanted to take my own music CD and play it on the 8-track player. Now, of course, you can't do that because it's an 8-track player, not a CD player. So I've got a blank 8-track cart, which I want to record my CD onto there so that I can then play it on here. I've already restored the RQ830, so do please check out the upcoming video for the restoration of this beautiful little 8-track player. I also got myself an 8-track recorder, which I also recommissioned, and I've done a video on that already, so do check that out. However, I was a little bit concerned that there aren't any VU meters or anything on this one. And if I wanted to record my CD onto a blank cart to play on the Dynamite machine, then really I'd like to make sure the levels are as good as I can get them. So to that end, we whiz across to here, and I found an upgraded JVC 8-track, which is similar to the one I've already restored, but this one has VU meters and a few other features on it as well. So it's described as working, but before I start using it properly, I want to just make sure it's all okay, clean the heads, check the belt and all that kind of stuff. Then we shall be able to use the blank 8-track cart to record the CD, record it on that machine, and just for fun, be able to play it on there. So let's take a look at the 8-track recorder now. So here we have the JVC ED1240, made in Japan, 1970s model. Lovely looking bit of kit, needs a proper wipe down at some point, but for now we're just going to check it over. On the back we've got the RCA line ins and line outs, lovely condition overall. And what we'll do, this one should be very similar to the ED1240 that we've already looked at on the channel, so do please check that one out. And my plan for this one, hopefully today, is do very little with it actually. For a change, we shouldn't be doing too much work on this one. I think this will just be a quick check over, clean the heads, and check the mechanisms are all moving freely. Check the belt. I ordered some belts that I think would be right for this, and they sent the wrong ones, so we may not even need to change it, but let's have a look. Right, so first things first, this should just slide away, hopefully, if we're careful. This one also has, looks like the screws in the back may actually link through to the chassis as well, so we'll just take those out. The smaller model didn't have these, so I'm assuming that's what these are for, just retaining ones. And now we should be able to slide out. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. The only slight fly in the ointment with this one, as per the other one, is that the flex has to stay with it. That's better. Okay, I was about to explain that the plug has to stay on, and on the smaller version of this, you have to, it's all in one piece, and you've got to take the plug on and off every time you want to remove the wooden case. But with this one, this hardboard piece actually just slides into the rear, misses, so we can actually, slightly off camera admittedly, but I can actually at least now get the plug, there we go, and get the wooden case away. But just like the 1230, the 1240 has the wooden case with the wooden corner blocks in there that you can see. Right, okay. So for the innards then, very clean and tidy in here. Nothing looks like it's been messed with. Original cable ties, everything's all good there. nothing untoward. So what do we have? Yep, all the original shielding is still intact, and indeed all the adjustments necessary for the meters, for the gains and meter needle settings, they're all present and correct. So this literally just needs a little bit of a clean. I'm going to clean the heads. The belt is actually okay. So what I'll do though is clean the flywheel, clean the pulley. I might actually cheat for now and just reverse the belt for a minute, just to give it a bit more bite. Clean the tracks. Yeah, fantastic. And then we'll just get in. Yeah, the heads are slightly dirty, not too bad, but you possibly can't see them through there. Normally you need quite a long swab to get through the actual drawer, so we'll probably do that, or we may be able to get in through the top there with some isopropyl alcohol. So first things first, let's go give them a clean. So as before really, we're just going to get some little bit of IPA onto the pulleys. You can see that the belt is starting to break down a little. You can see some of the residue there. That's coming off there now, and we'll just do the same as well on the flywheel. Not too bad. I've seen worse. And as I say, I know I haven't got the right belt to put on today, because the ones they've sent are the right, they're flat and they are the 6mm, but they're yeah, they're slightly too small. So I'm going to double check the measurement of this, because it's a fairly large belt, to be honest. I think they're about 100mm, something like that, 90mm. Anyways, I'll go and check that in a minute, and yeah, and we'll be okay. So I've just cleaned off the flywheel and the pulley. I haven't got the correct belts to hand. I did order some, but they've sent the wrong sizes. Basically, I think it's about a 6mm flat and about 110mm. And I had an assortment that were due to come, but they've sent ones all the way up to about 80mm, which are too small. However, this particular belt still has plenty of give in it. It still feels pretty supple. It's not too bad, actually. So I'm going to cheat for now, and just reverse it, just to make sure she's running as good as she can until the new belt arrives. But when I'm not making the videos on these things, changing the belt is literally a 2-minute job. So I'll come back and do that as soon as it arrives. Now, what I am just going to do here is put a little smidge of very light machine oil just inside the on the motor shaft. Obviously you don't want to get that on the bearing surfaces, so I'll give it another clean anyway, just to make sure, and that'll be fine. Good. All right, so that's that cleaned and sorted. Now we were going to do the heads as well. Now, to get to the head, yep, I can do it from here, to be fair. So it's a bit like posting it through the letterbox on one of these. So best way of reaching it, obviously the head's fairly large, being an 8-track, so they're not massively filthy, but it's always best practice to just clean the heads, clean contacts, all that kind of thing. So it's always good practice if you can. Any chance you're in there, just to get rid of any any grime. Marvellous, good. I'll just mop that up quickly. Right, I mean, honestly, there really isn't much to do on this. It's just the job, actually. So we'll just clean off these track runners as well, the contacts on there. But actually, there's really very little to do. The solenoid works fine. Lovely. Yeah, that's all okay. Honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm a big fan of you know, taking things apart and making a mess and getting screws everywhere. But actually, there's no point taking things apart for the sake of it. Now, as I say, that belt ideally could do with replacing a little bit, but yeah, that's all we can do for a minute, I think, really. So the next thing is just to I think clean the contacts up on the back and then get it plugged in and try it. Okay, so yep, we'll just put a tape in, a cart I should say, and see what happens next. While she's spinning.
Now put it all together. So, do, la,
there we go, a bit of Sound of Music. Who'd have thought? Right, so next one, if we go to select. Yep, solenoid's working okay. The belt's spinning perfectly well. Yep, there's no warble or anything like that. To be fair, I think we'd probably just get away with it, I think, without changing the belt, but I will still do it. Let me just stop this cart one moment with the eject. It's a bit vicious. Whee, there she comes. Almost spits it out at you. Right, okay. So, yeah, I will go ahead anyway and change the belt at the next available opportunity, but at least we know everything works. So fantastic. Like I say, I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie, get the case back on and just get that new belt ordered and we'll be good to go. And there she is, all back together, and I've given her a nice clean. I must say, this and my other one are so clean. It does beg the question, and I must admit it predates me slightly, but did people generally actually record much on their 8-track recorders, or was it just a nice to have? A bit like these days, or I say these days, we'd have bought a tape, you know, a record cassette recorder rather than just a cassette player because it was extra features for not that much more money, I guess. And I just think these are so clean, these recorders. I don't know how many people actually recorded a lot of their own stuff or just really just played pre-recorded ones like this Sound of Music one here. Who knows? Perhaps you could let me know in the comments if you used to record a lot of your own back in the day. But I'm just going to select through the, there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. She's not hooked up to the stereo at the moment. No point getting sort of copyright infringements or anything like that. I just wanted to see it in action, really, and yeah, it's just gorgeous, and what a beautiful piece of kit. So I really look forward to using this to record the album, and thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned. Please do subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and I shall be back with a video very soon. Take care. Goodbye.